Bro, what a game, man. What a game. Portugal, Croatia. What a game, man. Yo, most of the games, man, in this round of 32, man, have been great. You know, like what we saw yesterday between Belgium and Senegal, that was one instant game, man. England, another crazy game again. And then today, man, yo, it's been nice. It's been nice. But today's game, man, Portugal, Croatia, a lot of controversies, man. The offsides, the PK. We're gonna get to all that in this video, man. Subbing out Ronaldo. Yo, it is insane. But yeah, man, the first half, it was mostly Portugal, man. The first half was a little bit slow. It was mostly Portugal. Croatia was there, but they didn't create much. They didn't do much. It was mostly Portugal, man. Most what they do was like crossing, man. Crossing the ball. Every chance they got, crossing the ball. Leao was the only one, man, that was trying to take a few players on one-on-one, but we saw a lot of course. And Leao, I think I'm gonna give him that tonight, man. Leao played a great game. The first two games, especially the first game against Congo, yeah, it was bad. It was very bad. And tonight, man, he played a great game, man. I mean, the coach can see that because he played the whole 90 minutes, man. And then his assist, man, last minute assist was good, man. In the first half, you saw Bruno. Bruno was good in the first half, man. Got two good chances. The goalie, of course, man. That Croatia goalie, man, all the show for them. But yeah, like I said, man, the first half was mostly Portugal, and they didn't get anything done. And then the second half, I'm not sure what the Croatia coach told these guys, man. I guess he told them, guys, I think we can play with Portugal. I think we got to stop backing the boss and then get into the game. And they did exactly that, man. Dude, the first half, since the beginning of the first half until like the hydration break, it was mostly Croatia. That's all they scored that goal, and then right after, man, they scored a second goal, but it was offside. But the first goal, man, was a nice goal. Perisic, man, bro, another vet. I think maybe that probably gonna be his last World Cup since that's Madrid. And then nice goal, man, very good finish, put it in the back of the net. And then since after this first goal, man, I think all the other goals we're gonna see, man, gonna come with a bunch of controversies, right? If you look at like Croatia's second goal, yeah, that was offside. That was clean offside. And then I think they score another goal again. I think was it Perisic again? It was another guy. I think like they scored like 3 offside goals, especially that last one, which we're gonna get to later on. And then, man, yo, that pass, man, bro, that pass, I'm not sure who made that pass to Ronaldo. The pass that he scored you offside. That was a great pass, man. Bro, that was a great pass, man. That was nice, man. And then the finish was perfect, but it was offside, man. It was just a tiny bit offside. And then Portugal was going to get a PK. So the PK, for me personally, it's a PK. The reason I think it's a PK is because the defender hold them throughout the whole sequence. It's not like it just hold them and then he let go. It's just holding onto him like throughout the whole time. And then if you look at the ball, the way the ball was coming, even though it was holding to him, it just missed the ball. It just missed the ball. And then that's mean if he didn't hold grabbing him throughout the whole time, he probably will hit the ball. I think that's what the ref saw too. Because most of the time, man, if you do a grab, you just grab it and you let go, that usually get fly by. But especially looking at this thing in slow motion, man, like you grab the player until he reached the ground. Of course, man, it's gonna be a PK. And then of course, man, Ronaldo step up, I don't know if he was nervous or anything, but he went straight in the middle, man. Yeah, it went straight up the middle. Get Portugal back into the game, man. 1-1, which is very nice. And then when you look at it, man, so Portugal in the midfield, they got Bruno, they got Vitinha, and again they got João Neves, right? Those 3 guys, man, they're like the 3 best midfielders in the world. Like Vitinha and João Neves, man, like they are the best midfielder in the League One. They just won the Champions League with PSG, man. And then you got Bruno, man, the best midfielder in the Premier League. And Bruno and Vitinha, man, got sub out. I think it was like 60 or 67th minute. Bro, that early, man, that early in an elimination game. And then you have no choice but to take out two of the best midfielders in the world because they're not playing anything. I think we only see Bruno in the first half, and after that, we barely see Bruno. The same for Vitinha, man. Bro, I'm not saying the subs were bad, but I think two of the best midfielders in the world in your team, and then you got to sub them out that early because they're not playing good, man. It's bad, man. It's very bad. I'm thinking that's why Portugal still can't get into that World Cup, bro. Even Portugal won today, man. They still haven't been convincing. You cannot look at Portugal and see, yeah, Portugal gonna win the World Cup. You can't, man. You cannot look at the Portugal team and say that. You can look at France and say France, yeah, France can win the World Cup. You can look at Argentina. You say, oh man, the Argentina team is balling out. They can win the World Cup, dude. You can even look at Team USA. You'll say, yeah, Team USA can win the World Cup. But that Portugal team, man, nah, man, not convincing at all. This is their fourth game in the World Cup, man. Seem like they're still scrapping by. And let me tell you something. It's gonna get harder from here. This is the World Cup, man. It's not going to get easy anymore. It's going to keep getting harder from here. And then, yeah, man, they are still not convincing. And then, when you have three best midfielders in the world in your team, man, and then you still cannot get it going, man, something wrong. I don't know what it is. I'm glad it's not my job to figure out what it is, but something wrong with that team, man, And then it was 1-1, man, 80th minute. The coach took out Cristiano Ronaldo. Which is interesting, man. Which is very interesting. A lot of people always say, man, why... Cristiano, here's the thing though. Here's the thing with the Ronaldo situation. A lot of people usually say, take out Cristiano. Take out Cristiano. Cristiano is the problem. Take out Cristiano. Today, 80 minutes, man, the coach take out Cristiano, bring a new player, and then boom, he score 2-1. Now everybody's saying Portugal scoring without Cristiano. Portugal scoring with Ronaldo. That bad. It's like PSG won the Champions League with Mbappe. I mean, like, what do you guys want, man? It seems like Ronaldo is on the field is a problem. Is off the field is still a problem, man. Which is insane. But anyway, man, I think that sub was a good sub. It's not like Ronaldo was playing bad, because if you get into that late in the game, you're gonna need a more striker with more energy. And then Ronaldo was getting tired, of course. That was a very high intensity game, and I don't know how Modric was still on the pitch, man. At like 40 years old, but Ronaldo, man, you can see, Ronaldo could barely press. So, I mean, if you look at his face, man, he wasn't happy about this. He wasn't happy about the sub, but I think it was the right call for the coach to make, man. And then, he ended up paying out, man, and again, man, in a very nice course from Leao, man. Bro, that header was nice. Like, Gonzalo Ramos, man. He's not a player you see too often, man. He's not a player you're going to say his name too often, but today, man, he showed a very big for Portugal, man. Like, they needed that, and then he delivered, man. A very crucial match for the man. And then, he showed up. Like, when Bruno did it, he did. When Vitinha did not, he did, So, yeah, that was a nice, man. Very nice finish. And then that's what we saw in the first half, man. We see a lot of courses in the first half like this, and then nobody actually got there. So if Ronaldo was still on the field, that goal probably will never happen, So the sub was good, man. The sub was good. I don't think there's any complaint. I don't think anyone's going to say it was a bad sub. The problem is, like, people are saying, well, Portugal score and Ronaldo is off the field. Like, Ronaldo is a problem. That's not true, man. That is not true. And then, like, they gave like 10 minutes extra time. 10 minutes extra time. I don't know what happened. I think maybe it's because the goal, it seemed like they had 2 more minutes into that thing, and then Croatia scored. Croatia scored. So I think this is the goal, man. That's gonna, yeah. So Croatia scored, man. So 2-2, celebration, everybody go crazy. And then VAR, of course, VAR came in. The ref went to look at VAR, and then he canceled the goal. So apparently, the header. So when the Croatian player had the ball, the other player is on offside position. And then the ball hit the Portugal player head and went to the Croatian player. So that's why he's offside. I don't know, man. So you guys let me know in the comment, man. You guys let me know in the comment if that was the right call. If it was the right call. Because, VAR, man, I think VAR been involved a lot, especially in the round of 32. It was less in the group stage game. And it seems like every day now there's a game where VAR has to come and play. And then it seems like even when VAR look at the situation, there's still doubt. There's still a way to say, man, I don't think they got it right. I mean, because when you look at last night, that USA red card, yeah, and before that, that Belgium PK, and before that, that England like Hurricane PK. You like, man, come on, So I don't know, man. I think, well, I mean, it was offside because I remember something happened like that with Real Madrid, like Real Madrid Liverpool. When Vini scored that goal for Real Madrid to win the Champions League, Benzema scored a goal like that, and then they took it out because because Benzema was in an offside position, and then they said the player wasn't trying to pass it to Benzema; he just accidentally touched the ball, and then the ball went to Benzema. So this is the same thing that happened here. The Portugal player didn't pass the ball to the Croatian player. He just accidentally hit his head and then go to the Croatian player that was in an offside position, and then that's why he's offside. So that's why they call offside, man. Heartbreaking for Modric since it's gonna be his last World Cup. And then, when I look in Ryan the sunset to the next round, with Portugal. But yeah, it was a good game, man. A very entertaining game. As I said before, man, Portugal is still not convincing, and I don't think they can beat Spain. Everything is possible. It's Portugal, man. Like I said, man, they got they got a couple best players in the world right now in their team. So, anything is possible. But it's Spain, man. Spain not going to sit around like Croatia, Spain going to come at you with everything they got. And they got people, So it's going to be an interesting game to see, man. Because I just don't see it from Portugal, man. Like, you see it from everything. You see it from England. You see it from Argentina. You see it from... And then, the thing is, all these countries, man, their stars are showing off for them. Like Kylian Mbappe, man, is showing for France big time. You got Messi showing off for Argentina big time. You got England, man. You look at what Harry Kane did yesterday for England, showing out big time. And then you got Vini, man, that's showing out big time for Brazil too. And for Portugal, man, like, we haven't seen it, man. Like, today, bro, in a freaking elimination game, Bruno is out, Vitinha is out, Ronaldo is out. Like, come on, man. This is the game, man, where you need your stories, and then none of them, could have shown up today. So it's interesting, man. That Spain game gonna be a very, very interesting game, man. I cannot wait to see it. It's going to be a tough game. I think it should be fun. So, yeah, man, with all the things that went on today, man, all the controversies, you guys let me know, man, that PK, that offside. You guys let me know in the comment what you think, man, and then what you think about the Portugal team. Thank you guys for watching, man, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.